Making a YouTube banner without using Photoshop or any paid software whatsoever. You know what? Let's not even use a software. Let's not download or install anything. Let's just use a web browser. Now, I know that you can do it in Canva. I don't personally use Canva, but Canva tutorials coming soon. Today, we're going to be using something called Photopea or Photopea, but I like calling it Photopea. I will be showing you a couple of techniques that I personally use to make things look better than they actually are. And whatever we end up making, because I haven't made it yet, I will be sharing it. So check out the link in the description so that you can use it as a template. All you have to do is probably change the text and slap your face in there. Now, if you don't have time to learn graphic design and all this meticulous work that goes with it, I have good news for you. The good news is that this video is sponsored by Owned, and Owned actually allows you to create your YouTube banner in a couple of clicks. So the first step is to go to owned.gg/GaelLevel. This is basically my affiliate link with Owned, and then you'll go ahead and find your YouTube service. The cool thing with Owned is that they're always running promos. Right now, there's 50% sale with the code streaming on all products. So Owned doesn't just offer YouTube templates, for example. It actually offers you everything you need as a live streamer or just a YouTube content creator. But here we're gonna go to stream design elements, we're gonna go to banner, and we're gonna make sure that we have YouTube banner selected here. And look at that. You have all those amazing designs that all you have to do is basically type in your name. If you wanna add a picture of yourself, you can also do that. Basically, those templates are already made to look amazing. Look at this one. So the banner comes in the perfect size for YouTube. You get the banner, you get a PSD file, which is the project file, allowing you to modify it as you wish. You get a one blink version of it. So if you don't have Photoshop, you can just bring it into an editing software and just add your text, and you can directly download from this page. Now, personally, I would go ahead and download the whole package because this is all the things that are included with it. Instead of just paying for the banner, you can just pay and have everything so that your graphic design and your branding is just correct and beautiful. But anyways, I'll let you check out all the services that Owned provides over at owned.gg/GaelLevel. That is own3d.gg/GaelLevel. And from there, let's open up Photopea and let's do our YouTube. Let's go the hard way, okay? If you're not using Owned, this is what you're gonna be doing. So, hey, future GaelLevel here, or present GaelLevel. Turns out that past GaelLevel made a horrible looking banner, and I couldn't bring myself to just share that with you. This is what past GaelLevel made. As you can see, it's not my best work. It was easy to make, and I'm gonna teach you how to make something that looks better and very easy. If you still want access to this one, I'll put a link in the description, but it's terribly optimized. It will probably crash your computer. So let's do something new. We're gonna be using Photopea. I'm gonna give you a lot of tips on how to easily find assets and produce something fast in a way. Let's open up a new instance of Photopea.com. So this is your Photoshop, your free Photoshop, but online. Let's go to new. Wait, before we go to new projects, let's find out how the YouTube banners work. Turns out the YouTube banners, if I click on a random channel like here, as you can see, it's just a strip, right? So if you're on the TV, if you're on a tablet, if you're on mobile, it's gonna appear different, but it's still gonna be a strip. That being said though, that doesn't mean that you can just upload a strip like that. You need a specific type of template. So I go to Google Images and I type YouTube banner template. Boom, and here we're looking for something that has the same dimensions that they proclaim to have, and I believe it is 2560 by 1440. I believe that's the right one, but we can always test it later on. So I'm gonna open in a new tab, right click, and copy the image. What we need to know is that desktop, tablet, and desktop minimum and mobile, basically this strip is the only thing that's gonna show up. So we're just gonna work in there, okay? So let's go back to Photopea, and now we can click new project. Now, since we have the image copied in our clipboard, it's automatically gonna put 2560 by 1440, and this is what you should input if it doesn't show up. In DPI, I'm gonna put 300, and I'm gonna click create. Boom, boom, boom. And now I'm just gonna press Control V to paste. All right, nice. Now, up top here, you can see I have some sort of a ruler. You can press Control R in order to bring that in, and you can click somewhere on the ruler to drag it where we think at least that our strip is going to be. Boom. And we can even drag the sides here just to make sure that we're gonna put information exactly where it needs to be, where it's gonna be visible for sure. With that being said, you can turn off this, and now you know where things are going to go. What I'm gonna do now is create two rectangles that are going to be on top and at the bottom, basically to cover whatever I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna go to the left here, click rectangle. If you don't see rectangle, we can click hold and then pick rectangle. Boom, and I'm not even gonna be careful with it, just gonna drag on top here, and then I'm gonna drag until it meets there. Okay, boom. In my layers list, I'm gonna hold Control and then click both of them while I still have the U selected. U being the shortcut for the shape tool. Okay, I'm gonna click on fill up top here, and then I'm gonna, you know, turn it to whatever color I want, gray or black. It doesn't matter. So I don't have a color scheme in mind yet, but we are going to pick it depending on the text. And I'm going to show you a quick way to have like 3D looking text right off the bat with no effort whatsoever. We're going to go to textstudio.co, textstudio.co. This is basically a free 3D text generator, and you can pick anything, just type it, and you'll be able to download the text. It's not going to be high quality if you're using the free version, but in this case, we don't need high quality. So just pick the design you want. There's so many that you can pick from. But of course, if you already have your own logo, you can skip this part. All right, I'm going to pick this one called Phase. We're going to turn off the ad. Yeah, let's just imagine a gamer tag. Phase69 seemed to be something that you guys would name yourselves. All right, cool. And now we can obviously customize the style in the style thing. There's outline, there's shadows. All of that is something that you can actually change. Maybe let's go for a more reddish here. Nice. Instead of blue, we want, let's say yellow or mostly orange. That goes pretty well with red, but maybe not with white. Or maybe we can start with red and then the other one will be yellow, or maybe orange. All right, I think that looks decent enough. Next, we're gonna go to background and we're gonna turn off the background. Boom. Now it's going to be transparent. So we're going to skip the animation tab, go to download, and then click on medium, because that's what it allows us to do while we're not using the premium one. You can pick fitted or square. I go with fitted because I believe that's a bigger file, and then click PNG. As you can see here, it will tell you you must link to Text Studio or become a premium member basically to be able to use it. You can click download. Just remember in your YouTube info part, you want to link that basically. Hey, this is what I use for my logo text. And then we can click save and we have our image and it is saved. Now let's go back to Photopea and I believe we can drag and drop. Boom, there it is. We're just gonna drag it and put it around the middle. Nice. We are in the text transform tool. You can press Ctrl-Alt-T in order to bring it up if you don't see it. For example, if it's like that, Ctrl-Alt-T, and we're gonna make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to be holding Alt in order to drag from the middle and also Shift to maintain the proportions. Otherwise, it's going to stretch out. We don't want to stretch anything. Hold Shift for that. And let's give it a big, but not too big size, right? We want it to be still like kind of clean. And there we go. Now, if we want, I'm going to select the background so that anything that I create is going to be on top of it. I can create another rectangle here by clicking on rectangle, clicking and dragging. And now I can double click on the icon next to the layer to pick the actual color. We're going to go with a light gray. Boom. Now I'm going to go back to my phase logo and I'm going to duplicate it. There's multiple ways of duplicating stuff. Make sure you have the move tool selected. For example, I can hold Alt, click and drag, boom, that duplicates it, right? Let me Control Z on that, or Control Z. And another way to duplicate stuff is to go on the layers list, hold Alt, click and drag. Now you have two of them. With the move tool, I can just do this. Remember, to transform, we want to press Ctrl-Alt-T. That brings up the transform tool. And now I'm going to basically rotate this one. And I can hold Shift if I want like precise rotation up to 90 degrees right there. And I can drag, drop like this. Now we're going to start adding elements to the background. I'm going to click on shape, which is our background layer. I can even name it background color. Boom. And I'm going to select the rectangle tool once again, and I'm going to click and drag, create another rectangle. Graphic design is just a bunch of rectangles, okay? I said it, you can quote me on that. Double click on the layer icon of that one you just created. And now we want to color pick something that might be in there, right? Maybe orange, maybe red. The red really, really pops. Maybe we'll keep it for now. Boom. Okay, cool. Now we want like a very, very, very basic type of background image. And in order to do that, we will use an image that is like Creative Commons that you can use for your personal use, but also for commercial purposes, right? No copyright, basically. For that, I like to use a website called PixHere. So that's pxhere.com. And you can pick whatever image you like. In this case, we're doing something kind of futuristic, 3D text and all that. Maybe nature might not be the best pick, but it doesn't really matter that much. Here in the search bar, I type abstract and we'll see what we find. All right, I kind of like this picture, so I'm going to click on it. And here you can log in order to download all the sizes, but I'm just going to right click, copy image, and then go back to Photopea and select the background color so that whatever we paste is going to be on top of it. Click Control V, press Control V. All right, press V to select your move tool, or just click on it here, drag it, and let's place it somewhere that we kind of like. Now remember, the shortcut for transforming is Control Alt T, right? And then hold Shift if you want to maintain proportions. And let's do this. Nice. We're basically going to place it in a way that it doesn't affect our design too much. Okay, I like that. Boom. And from there, while the layer is selected, we're going to press Control Shift U. Control Shift U. That makes it black and white. And with the layer selected still, we're going to go up in opacity and we're going to lower that quite a bit. Okay, around 12%. Now, again, I'm just giving you ideas on what you can do. You can definitely pick another image or go with a different style if you want to. Now, this is the part where you would want to add some social media icons, for example. And in that case, you can go to Google Images and type like Twitter logo. And on Google Images, in order to find a good Twitter logo, you can click on here. And as you can see, this one doesn't have a transparent background. You're gonna want to click on the ones that look with a white background, but when you click, you can see that the background is transparent here. This is not just a shape. This has like a rounded rectangle. We don't want that. So we'll keep clicking. For example, this one would be good. We can always give it the color ourselves. In my case, I already downloaded those because I do graphic design all the time. So I have my own folder with them, right? So here I have this. It's going to be YouTube. So maybe you don't need a YouTube logo, Instagram, and maybe you have a TikTok. Boom. Let's click and drag, find Photopea, and drop it. All right, press enter to get out of the transform tool. Right now they're underneath everything. You can turn off from time to time if you're losing layers and stuff like that. For example, those are top left. In order to see, you can turn off those black rectangles that we added, right? So one, 2, 3. I can hold Shift with the bottom selected, click on the top one and select everything in between. I can move them with the move tool selected, of course. Okay, that was weird behavior. All right, this is acting weird a little bit. I think I activated auto select by mistake. Okay, just turned off auto select top left and this off. And normally if I do this, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So we just want the TikTok logo to be the same size as the other ones. Control Alt T, remember, to transform. We're gonna bring it up and we don't need it to say TikTok. Hold Shift to maintain proportions so it doesn't stretch. And I'm going to show you how to get rid of the TikTok text, right? In this case, I can just draw a rectangle, select it, and then create a mask, right? So I can do this. Mask is here, or press M on your keyboard. Select, boom. And at the bottom of your layers list, you're going to see a rectangle with a round shape in the middle of it. And it's a raster mask. Click, boom. Now TikTok is the same size. All right. Now we're going to select all of them. Again, I'm holding Shift, click on Twitter, select Instagram too, Control Alt T. Sorry for the background noise. It's really early morning and yeah, like my windows are open. It's summertime. Not really. Holding Shift, dragging it down a lot. Control plus to zoom in, by the way. Dragging it. Again, I really want those to be as small as possible, but still visible, right? And we're gonna do them in order of importance. If you ever wonder, hey, what's the order on those? In this case, I want people to follow me on Twitter first. I press V to select the move tool. I'm holding Shift so it doesn't go up and down while dragging. Like I start dragging to the right, held Shift, and now it's dragging like this. My TikTok is pretty cool. But I'm not making a banner for myself. I'm making a banner for you. So you decide what to put in there, ultimately, right? We're going to kind of center it. Boom. In order to add some text, you can click on the T here or just press T on your keyboard and you can add some text. Just click once. Boom. Wait a second. And there you go. We can add at. In this case, if your name was Phase69, you would put Phase 69. If you want to type with capital letters, doesn't matter. Let's select all of that. Boom. And up top, while the text tool is selected, you will see the color right here. Boom. And now you can change it to white if you want. Click away. Nice. All right. I'm going to use my method of duplicating, holding Alt while I have the move tool selected and dragging, holding shift to maintain the axis. Boom. And the same thing once again. So this time I'm going to put a little bit more distance here because I want the Instagram to be a little closer. Select Instagram. You can use the arrows on your keyboard to move things. Boom. And now it looks a little bit better spaced out. I'm going to select all of that. So the logos plus the text, and I'm going to group them. So Twitter at the bottom, Instagram, TikTok logo, and then all three of my text. Boom. I'm going to press Control G in order to group them. And there you go. Now I can turn them off and on. I can move them together with no problems. I can even center them just like that. Control minus to go back. Okay, not bad. Let's click on those and put them back on. So far so good. You know, you might even want to stop here if you're if you feel like you're done. It's all good. You can stop here. Technically, the information that you want is already there, right? So the name and also the social media platforms already there. All you're gonna do now is just add decoration. It's just gonna be that decoration from now on. Now, if you're playing a specific video game and there's like characters and stuff like that, I would put maybe on the left, I would put one of the characters or something like that, or I would fade out an image of the video game. In this case, I can go back to pics here and let's say it's, I ended up typing weapon and I found this image. So we're gonna be using this one. I'm gonna right click, click copy image. And then in here, I'm gonna click on background. I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be on top of that layer. I'm gonna press Control V. All right, Control Alt T. And from there, when you're in the transform tool, you can right click and flip horizontally. Nice. Okay, so not bad. Let's click Enter. And now I kind of want to select the character and kind of separate it from the background. So I'm going to go find near the magic wand tool. I'm going to click on quick selection and I'm just going to click and drag slowly until I feel like it is selecting my character. As you can see, it's easy to mess it up. You can press Control D to deselect and start over again. Or you can just go click by click and it doesn't seem to be working. So what we can do is Control plus. I'm holding space bar, by the way, to drag the screen like that. And I'm going to use the pen tool. I'm going to press P on my keyboard. Now I have the pen tool selected. So with the pen tool selected, you want to go top left and you want to make sure that you're creating a path and not a shape. Okay. Boom, path. And now we can start clicking and adding points. Best way is to just drag your mouse and keep clicking. We don't want this to be that precise, to be honest. Go down here. So we're not clicking and dragging. We're just adding a bunch of points. Holding space bar here, doing this, that. Press Control minus to zoom out. And I'm just gonna keep that left side. I don't care much about it. And I'm gonna end it right there by clicking on the main point. So now we have a path. From the path up top, we can make a selection. Okay, just click OK. Boom, now we have a selection. And what we can do is while this layer is selected, same thing we did earlier, create a mask. Boom, and now we have a mask. Now, a mask is completely different from our actual layer. It doesn't affect it, it's just on top of it. If I hold Alt and I click on the mask, this is what we essentially created. And as you can see, this mask is pretty harsh. There's a couple of ways of basically blurring the mask. There's a blur tool, but this one is kind of like, it might take a little too much time. We can go to filter, go to blur and Gaussian blur. We want that to be just a little bit, right? We're just trying to soften it just a little bit. All right, that's nice. Click OK. Now you can hold Alt, click on the mask again, and we have a decent looking edge. All right, so now that we have some colors, we know what the color scheme is going to be. We're gonna add more details and we're gonna basically add more color. We want that orange and that red to appear a little more often, maybe a little bit of the white. So the easy button to add like a couple of details is either to have a bunch of lines, you can add pluses, you can add X's, for example. Let me go ahead and do that with the X's. So I'm gonna select the text tool, believe it or not. I'm gonna click once and I'm gonna press X on my keyboard. I'm gonna see what that looks like, Control plus. And I like that. I like how that looks. So I'm gonna Control minus with the move tool selected. Remember how we duplicate stuff? We hold Alt, we drag, and we drop. Hold Alt, drag, drop. Hold Alt, drag, drop. Hold Alt, Alt, drag, drop, Alt, drag, drop. We're basically trying to fill the space a little bit so that looks decent. As you can see, we created a bunch of layers. I'm going to hold shift, have them all together. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click merge layers. So now everything is merged together. Now you want to make sure of the placement before you do that because you can't move them separately anymore. Another thing I could do is use the text tool again, click once and do underscore. 3 underscores. Okay, make sure that they are white like this. Boom, I got 3 underscores. And now I can do pretty much the same thing. Click the move tool and duplicate. Drop it here. Alt. Drop it here. Alt. Drop it around here. Maybe a little bit less than we had our X's, but details are details. Now, what did you say about the color, Gail? Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Give me a second. I want to try something. I want to go and click on the soldier's aviator, whatever layer. I want to click new layer on top of it. And I want to pick one of the colors, maybe orange, maybe red. We'll see. So I'm going to click on my main color here and then click on the, let's go with orange to color pick it and then click OK. And now I'm going to click on my bucket tool. I'm going to find it. It's usually with the gradient tool. So you can press G, hold here until you find paint bucket tool. And I'm going to click once. All right, do not panic. Now, with this layer selected, I'm going to hold Alt, which is going to create a clipping mask. So every visible pixel on my layer underneath is going to be affected by my new orange layer. And then on the blending mode, so on top of the layers list, we're going to find something that seems to match, right? You can try a bunch of them until you find something that matches. I'm going to try color. And I actually like it. From there, while this layer is selected, you can even try another color. So I'm going to click on the color, the foreground color. I'm going to pick red, click OK. I still have my paint bucket tool selected. Let me click to see. I'm going to press Ctrl Z. Yeah, I think orange is a better color, so we can keep it that way. All right, now is the part where we're going to add extra colors by using the brush tool, right? So I'm going to click my layer, which is like that image, the black and white image in the background. I'm going to find my brush tool or press B. I'm going to right click, make sure that my hardness is at 0. So it's going to be very, very feathered. I'm going to make my brush quite big. Okay. And I'm going to lower the opacity so I can get more control on what I'm doing. 10% is usually fine. And then I'm going to create a new layer, right? So an empty layer, and I'm going to click a little bit just to see the effect that I'm making. Okay, that's not bad. Can add some more maybe up top here. Just clicking and adding some more. Boom, boom. All right. I can hold Alt on my keyboard. It will turn into a color picker. And then I can click boom for orange. Now we have a lot of orange coming out of the left side. So we want to add more orange on that side. Just like that. Like that. I'm going to click closer and closer just so that character blends in a little bit better. I'm going to color pick the red again. I'm going to add some more. Color pick the orange again by holding Alt, remember. And I'm going to add a little bit of orange up top here, right? Going to add some more on the aviator. And I'm not going to lie, this is pretty decent. It's not high quality, but it's pretty easy to make, especially with the 3D text, with the images that we found. We didn't have to do much from scratch. We just slapped a couple of images together and then a preset for a text, and boom, we have a YouTube banner. Now I'm going to optimize this. Basically, I'm going to delete the parts that are not necessary so that you can use it. Of course, the only thing you have to do in order to modify this specific quote unquote template, which is not really a template, is go to textstudio.co, pick your own type of text, download it, and actually import it, right? You can't just modify the text here from Photopea. The only text that you can modify is going to be the socials. Again, I taught you how to make it from scratch, so technically you shouldn't have to need my help to do that. I'm going to duplicate the aviator. I want him to be on the right side also. I'm going to put him on top of the red here. I'm going to press Ctrl-Shift-U to make him black and white. I'm going to press Ctrl-Alt-T to transform. Right-click, flip horizontally, go there, and basically drop him somewhere around here. Press enter. Again, play around with the blending mode until I find something I like. I believe multiply is what I'm looking for. Yes, it is. And I can even lower the opacity a little bit. I forgot to blend in our underscores, so I'm gonna select them, right click, merge layers, boom, cool. And I'm gonna add an extra little bit of brush. So I'm gonna create a new layer. I'm going to pick black as my foreground color. And I'm just gonna go on the sides basically so that we still have an emphasis on the middle. I can bump up the opacity if I want to. Let's go 40%. Maybe make the brush size a little bigger. Going in smoothly. And okay, left side wasn't smooth at all, but we made it happen. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I think this is a pretty decent looking one. I would probably have a different style of text on the right side here. That text is just like duplicated. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way. I might Control minus to zoom out and actually make it bigger. Control Alt T, hold Shift, and then just drag it to a part that looks decent. Just like that. And there it is. Here's your YouTube banner, completely done. And yeah, I'll make the link available. Again, all you have to do is go to that folder. I'm gonna call this one socials, and you can double click on the text on the T part and type whatever text you want. Choose your own font if you have to, choose your own 3D thing if you have to, choose your own images if you have to. It's not in my hands anymore. I gave you the template, you do whatever you want with it. There will be a link to the other one, but again, it will probably break your computer. I don't advise you actually opening up the other one. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% satisfied with the result, but my goal was to show you different tips and tricks that I use myself in order to make things look better without any effort, right? We get a 3D text without doing anything really by just typing the text that we want. We got a mysterious figure by just downloading an image from a website. We got an abstract background by just combining some images together, and then boom, the rest was just painting with the color that we want, and we have a color scheme. Again, check out the description. There will be a Photopea link. All you have to do is click on it. It will open the project, and all you have to do is basically like double click on the text to modify the text for the socials. If you want to add your own image, I basically showed you how to do all that. So even if you want to make it from scratch, you should probably make it from scratch, to be honest. Let me know if you want to see more tutorials like that. If there's any piece of artwork that you would like to know how to do and you want me to make a tutorial, let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to ask you to subscribe so you don't miss any videos like that in the future. Also follow me on Twitch. I've been streaming 4 times a week now, so you can catch me and have conversations about being a content creator. And I will see you guys next time. Go out there, make me proud, get level, out.